How's it? Today is Friday, October 10th. It is a big Friday, and today was pretty good. I increased a little bit from what I did last week for my snatches. Did not increase for the clean and jerk, but I didn't miss anything. And I also went from doing singles on the front squat to doing doubles. That's pretty much it. It's the end of the video. Um, for snatches today, my goal was to just be pretty snappy, try to get through the lifting itself. I think this is what it's gonna be like moving forward. Just try my best to get a decent um, movement, decent quality movement for Friday lifting. Because I'm pushing the strength stuff on Tuesday. I mean also the strength stuff on Monday and Wednesday. So the weights themselves on the bar are not the most important thing. I think it's that relationship between the weight and how I move overall. That's the important thing. You can see here on the training log, the actual thing from Train Heroic, I wrote that the motif for today is fast hands. And you can see how quickly my hands are moving today. It seems a little silly to think about it in that manner, but you see here, like there's a split second where I go from pulling up and suddenly I'm under the bar in like the next frame, and I'm pretty proud of the way that feels, except for this one rep here. This rep, I don't know what was happening. I move my hands too quick on that one, but I come back and I make it. Ideally, these would just be singles. So yeah, there's a head scratcher for sure. Here is 85, which is gonna be the last warm up before my sets at 90. But look at how crisp that is. I think the thing that was the most telling for like how my hands are moving today was the warm up at 50. And like 50 is really light, of course, but there are times when I feel like I am just moving very slowly and lumbering. And if I had warmed up like that, then I would not have been able to make that lift for sure. The speed on that one was very important. And yeah, here's 95, which is the most I've done in quite some time. It's also the most I've attempted in quite some time. So yeah, that's a positive. I'm happy with how that is. I don't know if you noticed, like a lot of the last week, anytime I lift, I look down at my left hand, because I actually have a ripped. I'm looking at it right now. The skin on my pinky is kind of like ripped right in the middle, right where my finger bends. So it's actually pretty hard to hold on to the bar for extended amounts of time, especially on the snatch because my hands are further out. So it's like it feels like it might be a little bit more important to have the pinky on like contact of the bar. So yeah, clean and jerk has been followed suit for what it's been like for the last couple weeks, where it's like I spend a lot of time and energy and focus trying to do my snatches well, and then clean and jerk kind of becomes an afterthought. But um, I made all the lifts today. It is definitely a lot harder than I want it to be. Here is my last warm up at 110. But I think the quality of the movement is slowly getting better. And for where I'm trending, I don't feel like I necessarily need to. That was like a jerk. I don't feel like I necessarily need to push the weights on this. Like I would be totally fine with 90 and 120 for the entirety of this training block until I get to 90 and 120 on Monday and Wednesdays, right? That's gonna be that thing where it's like maybe I just keep the Friday as like a quote unquote technique Friday. But yeah, I wanna basically like increase the amount of reps that I do at 120. Ideally, I would be able to do 3 for snatches and 3 for clean and jerks. That is the ultimate goal. But clearly I can't do that right now because look at all the pain I'm in. Um, it's okay. It's okay. It's definitely not as bad as it used to be. So that in itself, from a perspective of like improvement, that is huge. And I am going to be focusing on that right now. For the front squats, I think I talked about it last week, but I want to increase from doing singles to do doubles, and then ideally get to triples. There is, I feel like, a lot of progress being lost or progress being missed because I end up just trying to push for a single. And, it's great to push for singles for the ultimate, like, intensity, but I think the volume or lack thereof is why I'm not seeing the most amount of progress that I know I can be. So here's my top set of 2 at 125. Maybe next week I'll do a set of 3, or maybe I'll do 2 twos or something like that. One of those things is going to be on the plan. So just to slowly increase the volume on this and just get myself more accustomed to squatting heavier weights. I want to be able to squat, close to 170 in the near future. So has to come from somewhere. Like I need to have a foundation of work for that. Can't just be pushing singles. So yeah, finished off today accessory wise with the pull-ups and the GHD sit-ups. This is the classic Big Friday template that I followed since 2019. Yeah, 2019, somewhere around there. So I'm happy. 95 and 120 is really good for me. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Shoots.